Nobody noticed it, but while whales quietly sold XRP this week, Wall Street bolted 6 new pieces onto your bag at $1.04. I'm John, your XRP guy in the trenches, and I'll walk you through exactly which of these 6 things re-rates the coin and the one signal that breaks this whole thesis. Hold that thought the whole way through the video. Is a whale selling a reason to panic, or the exact head fake that shakes you out early? Number 4 is the one that looks bearish, and it's secretly the tell. And here's the part that's bigger than any single headline. The real story is what nobody connected. There are 3 pieces of pure infrastructure, 2 honest counters, and 1 on-chain wake up in this stack. And the biggest signal is the last one. Each is a separate post on your feed. Thread them together and you're watching institutional finance get bolted into XRP in real time, while the crowd stares at the flat price and yawns. So you'll see which pieces actually move your bag. Let's install them one at a time, and I'm handing you a dated receipt for every single one on screen so nobody can call this hopium. Piece 1 is the biggest, and it's the one nobody's leading with. Ripple just opened a lending system on XRPL itself, and it went to a validator vote on June 30th. It's 2 amendments, one called XLS65, a vault that pools deposits, and one called XLS66, which lets a big firm issue fixed-term loans directly on chain. The tell most folks skip is it's not switched on yet. It needs more than 80% of the network validators to keep backing it for 2 straight weeks before it activates. So treat it as a countdown, not a done deal. But sit with what it is. A bank can lend on-chain without Ripple ever sending a token to power it. The underwriting stays off-chain, and the network simply enforces who gets repaid. That's credit rails going up on your coin's home turf. Hold that thought, since piece 2 is what actually funds it. Ripple has now spent $2.7 billion on acquisition since it beat the SEC. Read that again. $2.7 billion, turning a payment startup into a full Wall Street conglomerate, prime brokerage, treasury, custody, and stablecoin payments under one roof. The anchor was a $1.25 billion buyout of a firm called Hidden Road, closed and rebranded as Ripple Prime. That single deal handed Ripple, a prime broker, clearing trillions of dollars a year for hundreds of institutional clients. So the credit rails from piece 1 don't sit in a vacuum. They get plugged into a firm that just bought its way into the plumbing of high finance. This is not a meme coin team. This is a builder bolting the machine together. And if that snapped the picture into focus, hit the like and subscribe, since piece 4 is the one that looks bearish, and it's secretly the tell. And almost nobody has actually read piece 3. So here's the honest one, because I'm not here only to read you the green headlines. Goldman Sachs. Yes, that Goldman Sachs was the single biggest XRP whale on Wall Street. Its file showed $153 million parked in XRP ETFs, the largest known institutional stack in the country. And then its very next filing showed 0. It sold the entire position. Now the weak hands see that and panic. But look at what genuinely happened. It's the gap between skimming a headline and reading the filing itself. Analysts who cover Goldman say that stack was never conviction. It was market making, a trading desk facilitating client flow in and out. Goldman unwinding its market making book is not builders walking away. The builders, Ripple, the validators, the wallets, those are all still here, still shipping. One desk rotated. The build keeps going. Read the filing, not the fear headline, and the story flips on its head. And that is piece 4's setup, because while the loudest whales on Wall Street was walking out the front, look who is actually pouring in the back. The XRP ledger just added 4,941 brand new wallets in a single day, the biggest wallet spike in over 3 months. And the people already got busier. Daily active addresses jumped up to about 72% in 2 weeks, from roughly 23,000 to nearly 40,000. Sentiment on chain hit a 3-month high, almost 4 bullish voices for every 1 bearish one. So we connect that. The whale that was only ever market making steps out the front door, and thousands of new holders walk in the back. That's not a top, it's a changing of the guard. Patient money quietly taking the coins to panic hands over. That is the exact us versus the weak hands moment the tribe lives for, and the crowd is reading it upside down. I want to hear your answer in the comments. Of these 6, which one is the actual catalyst. I want to see how you actually rank them because I don't know if everybody agrees. And piece 5 makes the wake up believable and it's straight off of CoinDesk. The gamblers just got cleared out. Open interest, that's the borrowed money bets stacked on XRP, collapsed from about 1.3 billion to under 150 million. Long liquidations ran 832% above their normal level as the leverage got flushed. But here's the part that matters. While all that hot money was getting flushed out, real ETF money came in, more than $15 million of inflows on June 29th, and the price held above that $1. So the froth left and the foundation stayed. A market that flushes its leverage and holds support while fresh money arrives is not a dying market. It's a market quietly resetting its base right underneath the machine we've already been installing. The weak hands paying to leave, the strong hands paying to stay, and piece 6 ties this whole thing together like a bow. Underneath all those 5 pieces sits XRP's actual job. It's a bridge asset. In plain English, it's the neutral coin that moves value between two currencies when there's no direct pair between them. That's the whole point of it. And now look at what got built this week around exactly that job. Lending rails, so institutions can move credit on the ledger, a $2.7 billion conglomerate to run the plumbing, wallets waking up in the thousands, leverage cleared out of the way. Every single piece is being bolted onto the same function, the neutral rail that money crosses. Nobody builds a toll booth this expensive on a road nobody plans to drive on. Here's the truth that I held back. This is the whole video. These are not 6 stories, it's one machine. The lending protocol, the conglomerate, the whale rotation, on-chain wake up, leverage flush, they're all the same play at different sizes, all assembling around the day XRP becomes the settlement layer institutions actually use. It's being built right now at $1.04, while the price chart makes it look like there's nothing happening. That gap between what the machine is doing and what the price is showing is this entire opportunity. And you're the one of the few people who just watched it get installed piece by piece. Let's just very quickly touch on the Clarity Act because you already know it and I don't need to reteach it. The July 4th signing everybody's counting down to is still a target, not a law, and the odds slipped to around 39% on Polymarket, so treat it like one more piece that might snap on, not the thing holding this whole machine up. The machine doesn't need a holiday, it needs the vote and the rails. Now let me bring this to your bag at $1.04. Nobody here is telling you to place an order. That's your call, and I'm not licensed to make it. What I'm telling you is what the pieces mean. When the rails go live, when the conglomerate is fully wired, the wallets keep climbing, the story stops being is XRP a security and becomes how much institutional money runs through it. At $1, that coin's priced like a machine isn't even being built. In the exact week, you can watch it being built bolt by bolt on the receipts I just showed you. The smart money isn't reacting to a headline. It's positioning for the assembly to finish. The move is to have your own levels set before they ship, not to chase the candle week after week. That's where I use my crypto exchange weeks. Don't forget, you need to like this video, subscribe, and tap the notification bell because it really helps push this video out to more XRP holders that clearly need to hear the actual news behind XRP and what's going on in the plumbing. You don't want to find out all this information when it's too late after the move has already happened, and that's exactly why I'm your XRP analyst. Here's the one thing that would make me wrong, and I want you to hold me to it. If those lending amendments fail, the validator vote, if they drop under 80% and stall out, and the active addresses growth reverses back down, then the machine thesis I just walk you through weakens and you weight everything accordingly. That's the invalidation, not a red day, not a scary headline, the votes and the wallets. They're the two to watch. So here's where I land. 6 pieces got bolted onto XRP this week and threaded together. They're one machine being built while the price snaps at $1. One whale left the desk. Thousands of holders walked in. Watch the validator vote and the wallet count, not the fireworks. If you know someone drowning in XRP headlines who can't tell the signal from the noise, send them this video. They need this whole map in one breakdown because tomorrow I'm breaking the Clarity Countdown deep dive, piece by piece, that could snap this whole machine on early, and it's the one most of you actually need. That's the read for today. Stay early, stay smart, and I'll see you in tomorrow. Same time, same tribe.